This is chess, not checkers, motherfuckers. Welcome to Beat Java's 365, where I bring you the latest and greatest in crypto, DeFi, and passive income. Sorry, I was summoning my inner Forex. I don't know if he's actually directly said that, but that's basically what he's doing. Those of you that know will appreciate that. Want to get into some stuff today. We're going to talk about AVARICE. We're going to talk about DRIP. We're going to talk about stake protocol. But before, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. We are approaching almost 3,000 subscribers, and I am truly humbled by that. Also, if you're getting anything from this content, please hit that like button. It really helps get this out to more people. And if you could, please leave a comment down below. All right, let's get into this. All right, so real quick, I really want to touch on something with the animal farm. And that is really, this is for people that are super bullish on the DRIP ecosystem and super bullish on Forex. If that is you, I really want you to think about the pig pen. We've been talking about it a bit on this channel, and other YouTubers are really starting to cover it. And I think it's just really important that if you really are bullish on the whole ecosystem, then really think about the pigs token and depositing into the pig pen. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of other YouTubers already bring up the fact that this is the one area of the whole ecosystem that Forex himself is invested in. And that is because he knows that he can participate in this and not have to sell any of the native assets. He has claimed that he's never sold one drip. With the pig pen, you purchase pigs, you deposit them, you are earning a percentage of the revenue that's generated from taxes and transactions on the entire farm. And you're earning that in BUSD without having to sell a single asset. So he knows that he can participate in that. Two things will happen. One, it will lock up more pigs, which is only beneficial to the project. And two, he doesn't have to sell anything that could potentially hurt the project. And remember, this is a long-term play, okay? And that's why I'm addressing really the people that are super bullish about the project and super bullish that Forex will be able to deliver. If you're not in that camp, maybe stick to the piggy bank and stuff like that. But this is long-term. Really not going to see a whole lot of return on this, at least until the animal farm gets back up and running. With me, you may be thinking to yourself, Luke, you're talking all this stuff about the pig pen. You only got about 20 pigs in there. Well, yeah, that's also because I was buying them back when it was V1 and they were at $400 a piece. I think I even may have bought one around $500 when it first launched. Then when they relaunched into V2, I bought several, and these were at around the 200, 250 range. What's really amazing about this is that the amount that you're going to start getting in dividends in BUSD has nothing to do with the price of the pigs token. It has to do with the amount of pigs tokens you have, not the dollar amount, but the total amount. That will determine the amount of ownership you have in the farm, basically. Right? So I'm buying these pigs when they were at $400 or $500 and even into the $200 range. I have since started dollar cost averaging into this because look at this, 57 bucks for a pig. I was buying up here, and then if I were to find the old chart, when these originally launched way back in, I can't remember, it was like February. I mean, they were going, I think they went up to almost $1,000 a pig. And I think it's going to return to that. So I'm hoping that the price just continues to go down and down and down and down, because I want to continue to accumulate so I can get a bigger ownership in the animal farm. That way I can start earning the BUSD and not have to sell a single asset in the whole ecosystem. So moving along to AVARICE. There's been a little bit of a hiccup that has occurred. I'm sure many of you that are in this know what I'm talking about. And it had to do with the total amount of tokens that were minted. So for those of you that got into the lobby yesterday, you noticed that when the lobby was over, it said total amount you were supposed to receive, and the amount that you actually received was a lot less. And that's because there was an error in the amount of total token supply. There's a whole write-up, I believe a link to the Telegram group, which if you're in this protocol, you should definitely join their Telegram. It's fantastic. They're giving great updates. This team has been just on the spot with it. What it looks like and there's probably going to be a million other YouTubers that are going to cover, so I don't want to read the whole thing, but what it's looking like is they are going to make the adjustment today. So today, I believe the auction is going to be closed, and what they're going to do is day 2 will actually be tomorrow. So 8 p.m. Eastern time is when day 2 will in effect begin. And because they're going to make the adjustment. So everyone that participated in day 1, we should see the amount of tokens we get reflected once 8 p.m. comes, I think. And if you've already staked your tokens from day 1, you will be able to restake them in the new contract. They're just going to switch everything over. You just kind of like do a super simple basic understanding of how Avarice works. And this will help any of you that are sort of on the fence or you don't quite understand it. This might help. It's like really simplified, but that's kind of like my signature move, is to just make something sound really simple when it's not. It's actually a little bit more complicated than that. So first, if you were to come on avarice.io, and I'm going to leave my link down below so you can just click that. You'll get a 10% bonus if you decide to use it to enter. But if anything, you can just use it to make sure that you're on the right site. You would it would come to this. Now this is the BNB side, because there's a B here, right? So you just click this button, because what we're doing is we're going to the BUSD side. Okay, so the dividends that are paying on this side are in BUSD. The other one was BNB. Basically, you would come in here and you would enter the amount that you want to put in of BUSD. Okay. So yesterday for me, it was 300. Today, I'm probably going to go a little bit heavier, or I guess this evening, I'm going to probably go a little bit heavier. What's really great about this platform is that it does not matter the size or the amount of money you have. Everyone gets the exact same percentage. Everyone, the exact same percentage. If I put in 300 and you put in 3,000, we're still going to get the same percentage of the total amount that's been put in of that day. And we would get the same percentage of dividends paid to us each day that we have staked after that. Let me show you real quick what it looks like on the BNB side, just so you get an understanding. Let's just kind of take an example here. So basically day 4 was the first day that I entered this. Okay. And I wish that I had gotten in on these first 3 days, and I'll explain why. But day 4, I put in 2 BNB. Okay. And this is the amount that you get per BNB. So because I put 2 multiplied, okay, so this is the total amount of tokens. Then what I did is once the day ends, the auction ends, and you see the total amount that was deposited, okay, you would then hit the collect button, and it would give you your AVARICE tokens. It would get you your Avarice tokens, okay, which you can't sell. You can't sell. All you can do is stake them. You come over to the staking side, okay, and this was my first stake. So I staked it, and basically it starts, so you stake it on day 5, and then it starts collecting day 6, okay, and I only had mine go for 7 days, all right, and in that 7 days, that 2 BNB that I put in, this is the dividends in BNB I got back. So 7 days, I made 100%. 7 days, I basically ROI'd. Okay, I got all of it back. Now, once the stake is over, you collect, the BNB goes directly into your wallet. You then still have your AVARICE tokens, which you then restake, and you do it again and again and again. Now, keep in mind, when I staked this the second time, I did not get 2 BNB back, okay? Because here's where it's a little bit different. And to, again, oversimplify, the dividends that you make are based on what has occurred in the lobby during the stake. Basically, that first stake that I used 2 BNB to get tokens for, I staked it for 7 days. So starting the 6th to the 13th, I had it staked. And the amount of dividends that I was getting was based on the total deposits that were going into the lobby. And as you can see, we had some big days that went into the lobby. Look at this one. This was the monster day. This was the monster day. This is the biggest day in the lobby that there's been. There's not been a bigger day on the BNB side. Okay, over 3,000 BNB were deposited on day 6, and I had my initial coins that I got from entering the lobby on day 4. I had those staked, and those were earning dividends based on the amount here. As you can see, the amount that goes in starts going down. Less people are going into the lobby. When it comes to avarice, the game theory is this. If you only had one day where you could participate in the lobby, in other words, you couldn't do it more than once. You only had a certain amount of money that you could go in just once. What you would hope would happen is the day that you go into the lobby, you would want there to be very few deposits. You would want the total deposits in the lobby on the day that you go into it to be very small, because that way you're getting a bigger of the total amount of coins that are available. Then you stake those coins, and the next day when you're not in the lobby, you want that number to be through the roof, right? You want everyone to FOMO in, because the total amount that goes in, you're now receiving dividends based on that amount. So you want that amount to be much higher. So if I went in just on day one, and that was the only amount that I could go in for, I would want the total deposits to be very low. When that ends, I collect, I then stake it starting on day two, and I would want this total deposits to be through the roof. Let me know if that makes sense. So that's part of the reason why you hear a lot of us talking about get in early, because the first few days are going to be the bigger days that people are going in. There's also some tokenomics in terms of dilution that happens, but I don't want to get into that completely. I've sort of touched on that here. But basically, if you look at it just like what is going to be the most popular days of this platform, well, it's going to be early. Everyone's going to be FOMOing in early. And once you get in, you can start staking. The minute you start staking is when you start earning those dividends. So in terms of what happened with this hiccup yesterday, what I've seen from this team so far is they have been really on the spot with making the corrections and adjustments that have been needed. And they've done right by the people that have participated in the platform. And that watching a issue come up like this and seeing how they handle it is going to be what attracts the big money. So I think people that are throwing in, you know what I mean, like $50,000, $60,000, they want to see how the screw up is addressed. And everything I've seen from this team so far leads me to believe that they're going to handle this and execute what needs to be done, and we'll be back to smooth sailing. It's just, this is kind of a crazy space that we're in. So speaking of crazy spaces, let's take a look at the next one that I covered. So stake protocol. So I am watching this number of total players has gone up even since yesterday. I even had someone join my team yesterday. So shout out to you. Speaking of the people that are on my team, I said yesterday that whether you're on my team or you're not, if you leave a comment with your address, the first three that pop up, I will send airdrops to. Let's see, where to start here. So Crypto King 22, I'm gonna send this to you as soon as I'm done with this video. Where was the other one? Wiz, got another drip supporter here, love it. But he's got a small thing. He's got a drip all the way, but I started with a small stake bucket. I love it. Getting some to you. And then my boy Gary here. Now, hey, shout out to you, man. Like this dude, all right. He's been part of my team, and for those of you that don't know him, he is in all the telegrams. He's a big member of Drip. He helps people. He gives support. He's constantly been a supporter of my channel. So Gary, shout out to you, man. Always appreciate you commenting and liking my videos. Also, shout out to my boy Austin Kirkland. It's been a while since I brought this up. So Austin was one of the original people that I saw doing this FTA, and I had to ask him, what does FTA mean, right? And he said, well, for the algorithm. So basically, you know, the more times you guys comment and like and interact with the videos that I do, the better it is in terms of getting my video out to more people. So I always appreciate it when people are able to comment. And if you don't have really anything to say and you just write FTA, that actually supports and helps. So shout out to Austin, FTA, hashtag be like Austin, and FTA this video down below. Something I did want to address. Well, I don't want to single out the person that made the comment, but it was basically, they made the comment of you need to drop stake because their developers are the ones that are going against Forex. And first of all, that's just not true. Okay, and there's really no proof that that is accurate. From my understanding of the devs on stake, they are not at all a part of what has happened earlier in the week. Okay, completely different. To my understanding, from the contacts that I have, all the devs at stake have nothing against Forex, and they are all heavily invested in Drip and the Animal Farm, and they support him. So that's just unsubstantiated claims. And yeah, and look, even if even if there was some truth to it, because you get into some of these projects and you may find out later after the fact, after you're already in them, that maybe there's a beef between the devs, right? Well, I mean, it's stake is like Drip. I can't get my deposits back. I can only earn percentages on them. Well, my whole thing with stake is I wanted to enter it, right? Because I wanted to be able to start using profits from other projects to put into Drip, right? So I've ROI'd on this, and a good part of the money that I got back from this, I've been putting into buying pigs, as I talked about at the beginning of the video. And I want to be able to bring value to people. And I think that although this is new and we don't really know exactly how this is all going to unfold, we are in a crypto winter right now, and so things are even that much more risky. But when you come over and look at where the price of this thing is, because it's dipped down so much, it's actually gone up a little bit. It was at around $2 yesterday, and so now we're at 225. I mean, again, I know this chart, doesn't look great, but the 3% per day that you're earning on this, you can build your bag up so quickly, as I showed in last night's video. And as long as this kind of stays, above, a buck, like, you can be making a really good amount in a much shorter time than you can. And if you're a Drip maxi, like I think I'm a Drip maxi, but I know that I diversify a little bit, so I don't know if that makes me qualify or not. But you could be putting all the profits you make from this right into the Drip ecosystem. So, that's why I like covering other projects. I don't want to be just doing one. Obviously, Drip is my main, and it's the one that I'm covering the most. And yeah, so let me know what you think of this. I will leave links down below for the Telegram group for Avarice, the website to go to. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Again, with Avarice, the lobby, I believe, is going to be closed today, so you can kind of watch everything unfold. Other YouTubers are going to be covering it, so more updates may come out. And yeah, shout out to all you guys, man. Appreciate you, and I will see you guys on the next one.